Hello, good people of the internet. Today we're playing TYPECAST, which is a bullet hell game where you have to type on the keyboard to shoot your enemies whilst moving the mouse. We will jump in. I was going to maybe play the tutorial, but there's a slight issue with that.
Let's do it!
I have turned down... Actually, I don't know if it's kept the settings. There are some difficulty settings which can change your multiplier, but basically you are the circle, and you have to, whenever the enemies come in range, type the key which corresponds to the key on them. So you don't have to wait for them to come close to you. I mean, you have to wait for them to come slightly close to you, but you can shoot them as far away as, you know, as they enter that white circle. And you don't have to press multiple times, you just press once, and it just fires at all the ones in range for that one. So I'm just going to press the EQ top once, and it does that. You'll see there are other enemies, and this is the point where I'm going to have to pay more attention to the game, and we'll probably end up dying. These gems, so you can slow-mo with that, and you can refill that by collecting gems, and the things give you a multiplier. Let's kill some of these guys here. So yes, as I said before, the mouse is moving you, so most of the keys, most of the letters are on that left-hand side where you're going to be used to gaming, doing all your ASDW, that sort of thing. And as you saw there, then the enemies get a bit harder. And it even tells you, gives you a bit of a warning, that something bigger and badder is coming here. Now, jammed is when you push the key which doesn't correspond to one in your range. So if I press like out here E, there's no E here.
Jammed!
And it means that I can't type anything else. However, when you're jammed, you can type that same letter again. It has to be the same letter to unjam yourself. So, as an example, if we go out here and press Q, if I press Q again, then it unjams us, which is very helpful. You also have a certain number of lives. Should be okay. And this is normally where I die.
I guess this is it.
So you have a certain number of lives, as demonstrated. And when you get hit a certain number of times, then obviously, well, you die in each time you lose a life every time you get hit. So that's the main premise of the game. There are a couple of rules that we didn't quite cover, such as if you jam and immediately hit an enemy, then that counts as an attack on the enemy and you don't lose a life. And if you, as a projectile comes in, if you jam, it will send the projectile back. And also if you spell out the words fever, you know, that gives you some special mode where everything comes faster. Now, if we go back to the new game, I had the difficulty settings, I had the spinal one rate on extra slow. Actually, one of my gripes a bit with the menu is like you normally, if you have a set of options here and the actual values on the right hand side, you normally click here or slide here or do something. Here it's a bit weird. You have to left click and right click over here. So I have to right click to go up and left click to go down. I don't know. I think a slider or a group button would be better. And it's like that on various things in the other menu, like for volume as well, like this amount, slow-mo amount, you have to, I don't know, it's a bit strange. Anyway, so you can turn this up. Okay, this one doesn't actually do anything in terms of multiply, which is why I turned it down, because it's good to explain the game with that in mind. But, you know, you can change up the attack range, so you can make it smaller, which gives you a bigger score multiplier, or you can give yourself more HP and then you're back to where you were. So if you think you're okay with things being close, but, you know, you're not good with getting hit, then, you know, you could increase that. And if we, you know, having increased the spawn rate,
let's
try and start it with those levels. And we click start. And I immediately jam myself because I hit the key. Does it seem like it's smaller? I guess it is a bit smaller. And yeah, obviously the aim of the game is to get a high score. But now it doesn't actually show you the number of lives you have, the number of hit points, I guess. Let's just assume that I do have 4. Did I set it to 4 or 5? I don't know. You know, you can change other things. Oh, the other thing we didn't mention is you have the slow-mo bar, but you can also use that for a bomb. So if I let all these come close and then I left-click instead of right-clicking, does that. And maybe that was something that I should have done before when I had all those things coming towards me. Anyway, it's a different take on a typing game. Like if you've ever played Text of the Dead and Text Assists and those things. We got hit there, which is a bit unfortunate. So yeah, we lost a life. Yeah, if you played those games, then you'll know. Well, it's more like typing words. This is more responding, like I don't know how to describe it. QuickTime events in a way, but not, you know, a bit more controlled than QuickTime events. You just need to find the right key. It can be very hectic. And yeah, it's quite fun. I mean, in terms of progression, I'm not sure there is much. I have not found it very easy to get past the big wave of enemies that comes in, as we're about to see here. Because even though you think I'm miles away, it comes right back at me. And, you know, I just get hit from one direction or another. There is, if you make it far enough, because I just made it far enough once, you can get to a land with a different background, which is fun. When you're not jamming yourself, it's fun anyway. It's also very hard to talk about the game whilst playing it without jamming yourself constantly. And yes, I don't know. What else is there to say about the game?
Slow it down. Is this game over?
Apparently that's game over. Anyway, so that score that I got there, 15,000, isn't even my best score. If you go into the main menu, there is a leaderboard. And there's all these people. I assume someone has cheated here. And, you know, all of these people, whether they're really good at the game, whatever, this game is in early access. Key has been kindly provided, so I don't know. I'm there on number 23 on the leaderboards, having got a 28,000 score, which I would call very good. There is a tutorial, which, as I say, maybe we should look at just to confirm that I haven't missed anything in the game. I think I described it all.
New game.
Or we can just try going into a different difficulty. So what do we do? We can change the enemies to be extra fast. And actually, I mean, there's no benefit for that at the moment. I feel like maybe that's a bug that they haven't got the score multiplier linked to that. Don't know. Attack range, we'll just keep it small. Oh, you can also use A and D for this. Anyway, slow-mo amount, bomb count. Let's not have any bombs, but let's have lots of slow-mo. I don't know, or less slow-mo. So now we're going to get more score multiplier.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Anyways, yes, mouse to move, do all the things, try to get the highest score possible. I think if you hit more enemies in a row, not like that. Is there a way to restart? Okay, you can escape to quit.
Here we go.
And just start again. I didn't change the difficulty settings. If you hit multiple enemies in a row, in the top right, you'll see it says multi-kill. So I think you get more points if you wait for the enemies to come towards you, which is why maybe playing with more enemies on the screen can give you more points, and maybe why it isn't a bug. That it doesn't give you more score percentage, because it doesn't need to, because you're already going to be getting more score just from the fact there's loads and loads of enemies around. Although, as you can see, more enemies around equals a lot harder. And it's really hard cognitively, I would say. Which is why I'm not saying much. And why I hit something there. Anyway, but I got a really quick score in a really short time. You know, this is the best score I got, and I only had to spend a minute doing it. I got 222 kills. I died in loop 1. As I mentioned, there are, if you get far enough, more loops there. I'm hoping. So there's a few things that I think they could add to this game that could make it even more interesting. To keep you alive longer, I think, so that you can experience the later game. It has the gem system to get you the right mouse button, pull slow-mo and stuff, but maybe some drops from the enemies, so to give you some health boosts, or maybe some... what else could it have? I guess, well, other drops could be to replenish your slow-mo or to give you an extra bomb. Maybe decoupling the bombs from the slow-mo, because that's a resource where I was like, well, which one should I use? And I'm, you know, fall onto using the slow-mo, but then if you use that too much, then, you know, you don't have any for bombs. Yeah, maybe having the difficulty, so it had the difficulty settings that we saw in the main menu, or, you know, in here, where you can change the score multiplier, but maybe having more of these, you know, so you can change the slow-mo amount up to 200%, but what happens if you set up to 500%, you know? I would like a lot of slow-mo to play with. Maybe slow-mo, if we're going to decouple it from the bomb count, it could instead, you know, you have just 2 seconds of slow-mo, or whatever it is, and you have 5 charges of it, the same as you do for the bombs. I don't know, there's something to help people who want to play longer, but who are not very good at a game like me, keep playing for longer, would be good. As well, there are the leaderboards.
Leaderboards.
To be able to find me directly. Okay, so if you change the filter, apparently that changes it from you to your friends. That's good. But there's only, it just, yeah, it goes straight to you. It wasn't clear that that was what it was going to do. But it's good that it does that. I don't know how quick it will be when there are thousands of people in the leaderboard either. It did seem a little bit slower earlier if you go between the pages. Like, maybe you can't do it. Okay, no, it's fine. It just, you can't change page when you're looking at the filter of me, which makes sense. Anyway, this is Typecast. It will be coming out next week. If it looks interesting to you, if you think it's a nice fun game, it's going to be quite cheap. I don't mean like that in a bad way, I mean like good as in its low price. So pick it up if it interests you. And yeah, thanks again to the devs, publishers for providing the key. If you have liked this video, please leave a like. If you want to see more like this on the channel, then please subscribe. There's plenty more like this on there. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.